10 साल में पहली बार मैंने 1 महीना बैट नहीं छुआ है. I came to the realization that I was kind of trying to fake my intensity a bit recently. No, I can do it. You know, you're competitive, and you're convincing yourself, no, I have the intensity, but your body is telling you to stop. Your mind's telling you to just take a break and step back. I'm looked at as a guy who's been mentally very strong, and I am, but everyone has a limit, and you need to recognize that limit, otherwise things can get unhealthy for you. This period actually taught me a lot of things that I was not allowing to come to the surface. और जब वो आई तो I embraced it. I'm not shy to admit that I was feeling mentally down, and this is a very normal thing to feel. But we don't speak because we're hesitant. We don't want to be looked at as mentally weak or weak people. Trust me, faking to be strong is far worse than admitting to be weak.
आजकल ना सब हसल की बात करते हैं, लेकिन ये पीछे तो देखा ना, ये हसल बसल, ये बड़े टूर्नामेंट्स का ट्रेडमार्क होती है. And I'm finally getting to meet our man after what, 2.5, 3 years?
Yes.
ठीक है. How's this feeling? Because एक time पे you were probably doing this every second day with so many people. उसके बाद you guys were doing this in the bubble. Must feel good ना, इतना बड़ा tournament and there's no bubble.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, normalcy has kind of come back, and eventually this is what we were all looking forward to for so long. I know the situation was very tough, and we were trying to manage as much as we could. We didn't have it, even close to being called difficult compared to what people are going through on the outside. But within the cricket bubble as well, it was getting a bit hectic for a lot of players, and yeah, this is just amazing. Just the fact that you have so many people in the room, firstly, and this was always something that I personally looked forward to when I came to a big tournament. That you come and you're gonna have media activations. Then there's a excitement in the air, the buzz of the tournament approaching, and that just sets you up for the tournament for sure.
मेरे पीछे जो trophy दिख रही है, it's a very special trophy. Because for me, I mean, Asia Cup was my first cricket tournament, but for you also the early memories, Asia Cup की मतलब 183 तो वैसे ही बड़ा lucky number है. चाहे वो 183 हो 1983 का, चाहे 183 हो दादा का, MS का, yours. So Asia Cup's always been special, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Very special tournament personally for me. First Asia Cup I was part of was 2010. We won that as well against Sri Lanka. We won the finals, and then 2012 we could not win that one, and then 2014 as well we could not win, and 2016 we ended up winning when it was 2020 after a very long time. So Asia Cup for me always has been memorable, and yes, the 183 definitely stands out for me personally, because that was kind of a revelation for me. 23 I could play at that level, and in a big game, Sunday, Pakistan, in a big chase. I kind of surprised myself, and then from there my belief grew more and more. And then the other game that was special to me and I remember quite fondly is again against Pakistan in Bangladesh, and I got 49 odd on a very tricky pitch. So these are kind of games that always stay in your memory.
अब जो youngsters आते हैं उनसे पूछते हैं, "Hey, how are you getting ready for an India-Pakistan match?" You would have gone through that phase. लेकिन has anything changed? I mean, when you step onto the field, when it's an India-Pakistan match, इतने matches खेलने के बाद, now that you're gearing up for it, is the feeling the same or how has it changed?
Look, I mean, I wouldn't run away from the fact that the atmosphere on the outside is very, very different to any other game. For sure, there is no doubt about it. And this doesn't really have to be a World Cup game. Against other big teams, you understand, okay, World Cup mein Australia, England, South Africa, New Zealand, these are gonna be, big matches people are looking forward to. But Pakistan se kisi bhi tournament mein, the game, it's just what's created on the outside that you can't really ignore. But as a player, as I've said many times in the past, when you step onto the field, it's any other game for you. Just the environment on the outside obviously can pull you in, but that's for you to enjoy and get excited about till the time you get to the park, and then it's usual business.
Getting out onto the park. And the park's going to be pretty hot.
Yes.
ना सिर्फ fans की वजह से, but आज से थोड़ा सा warm up करा दूँ मैं.
चलो.
आज practice शाम को है ना.
आप देख लो अपना.
दिल्ली में सब बड़े हुए. वो क्या कहते थे? लू के क्या पढ़ते हैं?
ओह, भपके.
चाटे पढ़ते हैं लू के. ओए होए.
हाँ.
ये
क्या बात है.
You played obviously. This is beautiful, yeah. ये होटल है जहाँ पे टीम इंडिया रुकी है. बाहर बड़ा अच्छा था. Welcome back, Team India. यूए यू प्लेड अभी रिसेंटली, लेकिन अगस्त में शायद नहीं खेले, एंड लोग कह रहे हैं कि अगस्त सबसे गर्म महीना होता है यहाँ का.
Yeah,
मेक्स अ डिफरेंस या अच्छी तैयारी हुई है?
Look, the best thing is that we're playing in the evening, so you're not really exposed to the heat in a way that you're playing under the sun, because the sun is very harsh for sure compared to when we played here last time, which was in September or October. So it's more challenging, but honestly, the evening practice yesterday was very pleasant, which was surprising for me. There was nice breeze, and we really enjoyed our session. Yes, it's humid. It's challenging, but you prepare accordingly. So we are well equipped with the knowledge of these conditions and how we need to prepare for it.
विराट, एक और एशिया कप, but the memorable thing is you'll become the first Indian cricketer 100 matches across formats. Congratulations for that. I mean, it's such a special feeling. जितने fans हैं सबके लिए, पूरे इंडिया के लिए. पहले ट्रिक क्वेश्चन, डू यू नो हु इज द ओनली अदर क्रिकेटर हु हैज डन दैट?
रॉस टेलर.
अरे मैं प्रोड्यूसर कह रहा था, कहता उसको पता होगा.
मेरे को किसी ने बताया रिसेंटली, ऑनेस्टली मुझे पता नहीं था. सो किसी ने मुझे बोला कि यू विल बी द सेकंड, सो आई आस्क्ड देम हु इज द फर्स्ट, देन दे टोल्ड मी रॉस. आई हैड नो आइडिया. बट या इट्स अ प्राउड.
व्हाट इज इट फॉर यू द माइलस्टोन? क्योंकि इसमें लॉन्जेविटी, क्लास, सब कुछ छुपा होता है. प्योरली फॉर विराट कोहली, व्हेन ही इज लुकिंग एट विराट कोहली द क्रिकेटर, क्या मायने है इस माइलस्टोन के?
मतलब नंबर्स आप देख लो कि हाँ, तीनों फॉर्मेट में 100 से ज्यादा मैच हो गए, बट मेरे लिए उसका मीनिंग बहुत डिफरेंट है. मतलब इट्स एज यू सेड, लॉन्जिविटी, कीपिंग अप विद द डिमांड्स ऑफ प्लेइंग इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट स्पोर्ट एट द हाईएस्ट लेवल, और उसके अलावा कंसिस्टेंसी, चैलेंजेस, अपनी गेम को बार बार नर्चर करना, उसको सुधारना, बार बार उस पर काम करना. तो आई थिंक ये दिस इज अ रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ हाउ वन वांट्स टू लीड देयर लाइफ एज वेल. आप इम्प्रूव कर रहे हो, चैलेंजेस आते हैं, यू ओवरकम दोस चैलेंजेस, एंड देन यू फील द वैल्यू ऑफ योर सेल्फ एज अ पर्सन. फॉर मी, मैंने रिसेंटली भी बोला था कि नॉट नंबर्स, बट जो काम बिहाइंड द सीन्स होता है, जिसकी वैल्यू मुझे पता है, क्योंकि जो वो मोमेंट्स जिसमें बहुत पर्सनल मोमेंट्स होते हैं, जब आप बैठे हैं, आपको पता है आप क्या फील कर रहे हैं, क्या चैलेंजेस हैं, उनसे कैसे उभरना है. तो जब वो सब चीज़ें एक्यूमुलेट होके आती हैं ऊपर, और आपको समझ आता है कि हाँ मैं कर सकता हूँ, तो आपको लगता है कि यार आप you're making maximum use of this wonderful opportunity, which is playing cricket, but life in general.
दो चीजें मैं लेके आऊंगा यहाँ पे, and again thanks for giving me the liberty to ask you this. Reflection, two people who know you well, I mean for us, because they spend a lot of time with you. एक है रवि भाई, दूसरे हैं संजय भाई. एंड रवि भाई ने शायद अभी रिसेंटली बोला कि ये जो ब्रेक थी, यहाँ पे रिफ्लेक्ट करने का टाइम मिला.
30 days, which is, I haven't done that ever in my life. And that's when I sat down and thought, I was like, hold on. I came to the realization that I was kind of trying to fake my intensity a bit recently. No, I can do it. You're competitive, and you're convincing yourself, no, I have the intensity. But your body is telling you to stop. Your mind's telling you to just take a break and step back. You're working hard on yourself. He'll be fine. He's fit. He's fine mentally. I'm looked at as a guy who's been mentally very strong, and I am. But everyone has a limit, and you need to recognize that limit. Otherwise, things can get unhealthy for you. So this period actually taught me a lot of things that I was not allowing to come to the surface. और जब वो आई तो I embraced it. I felt very. I haven't felt.
Would you want to share any of it? What
I mean,
were those, if you'd like to?
Yeah, there is much more to life than just your profession. और जब एक माहौल ऐसा बन जाता है कि आपको सब लोग आपके प्रोफेशन की आइडेंटिटी से देख रहे हैं, तो समवेयर यू स्टार्ट लूजिंग पर्सपेक्टिव एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग. तो वो चीज़ें मुझे समझ आई इस बार कि हु एम आई एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग. आई कांट बी दिस पर्सन हु, yes, people love me and they get inspired by me, but who am I at the core of my being? तो ये चीज़ें मुझे बहुत strong तरीके से recognize हुई कि the love and support drives me, but that cannot be the representation of who I am. The demands of that position cannot be the representation of who I am. It is a huge blessing, इतना प्यार मिलना, इतना support मिलना, and I'm very grateful and blessed that I have so much love and support. But आपको एज अ पर्सन, एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग हमेशा पता होना चाहिए कि आपको चाहिए क्या, एंड यू शुड बी एबल टू से नो एंड वॉक अवे फ्रॉम थिंग्स दैट योर माइंड इज नॉट अलाउइंग यू टू, बिकॉज योर माइंड विल ट्राई एंड कीप यू इन टू दिस स्पेस वेयर इट फीड्स ऑन नेगेटिविटी कि नहीं तू कर सकता है अभी, थोड़ा और. बट इट्स नॉट हेल्दी, एंड आई हैव ऑलवेज बीन अ गाय हु हैज फॉलोड माय हार्ट फ्रॉम डे वन. I was a guy who was looked at as brash, and I was not mature enough but I was true to myself. I never wanted to be or tried to be someone else, which in this recent phase I have been. I have tried to keep up to the demands, the expectations, and not really felt my inner being completely, which this phase allowed me to do. And I was experiencing that I wasn't excited to train, I wasn't excited to practice, and that really disturbed me. I thought this is not who I am, and I literally need to step away from that environment, because जब आप उस environment में involve होते हो तो आपको दिखता नहीं है कुछ, बिकॉज आप बीच में हो. जब आप हटते हो तो आपको दिखता है ये हो रहा था, ये हो रहा था, ये हो रहा था. ओके, this is what I need to do. So it has been an amazing break. I've never had a break this long, and the first thing I realized was I was getting up in the morning and excited to go to the gym. It wasn't a thing of, oh, I have to keep up with it. So that was my first mark that, this is a normal practice, and this is, everyone should realize and give themselves space to come to this conclusion and not keep running like, headless chickens all over the place, rabbit in front of headlights, because you can tend to get carried away with so much demands nowadays, such schedules being, piled up again and again. You've seen the results of what happened to Ben Stokes and Trent Bolt and Moeen retiring from Test cricket. These are not abnormalities, it's a very normal practice for people who are in touch with themselves and who know what they want in life.
मेरा पता मन क्या करता है कि इसे सुनते जाऊं, because there is so much, and I'm just so glad we have this access, and I'll take you inside, because there is only so much that the sunscreen will protect us.
नहीं, मैं ट्रेनिंग करके आया हूँ.
नहीं, but actually इसमें इतना कुछ छुपा है ना, that बाहर से वो दिखता है कि यार विराट कोहली, what you've said, and we came in, this is going to be something that everyone will talk about, because जो ये word अभी आपने use किया उसमें, that you're trying to fake the intensity, it's not that you're doing it intentionally, it's something that you realized during this break. It's just so amazing to hear. मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि अगर बाहर हेडलाइन भी आती है ना, फैंस वो पूरा ये आंसर जो है वो सुने और पढ़े, क्योंकि कभी कभी जब इतना प्यार होता है ना सबको, तो उसके पीछे अंदर की परत दिखती नहीं है. What you actually go through and what you said, I mean it's a big thing. You didn't use the word that you were intentionally trying to fake it, but it had caught up so much. और हमेशा हर एक क्रिकेट डिस्कशन में बात होती थी, how will Virat carry on with this intensity? How long will he probably carry it on for? So are you feeling light now that all these things you have reflect कर लिए, सोच लिए, क्या वो मन हल्का हो गया?
I am feeling light for sure. I mean, it wasn't just about the workload of cricket. There were many other factors on the outside as well, which contributed to, me going into that space. तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें सीखने को मिलती हैं. आप जिन चीज़ों को एक certain lens से देख रहे होते हो, because आप पैशन से खेल रहे हो, आप दिल से खेल रहे हो, बट बाहर चीज़ें वैसे परसीव नहीं हो रही हैं, और लोग उन चीज़ों की वैल्यू को नहीं समझते हैं और आपको उस लेंस से नहीं देखते हैं. तो वो चीज़ें काफ़ी आपको एक रियलिटी चेक देती हैं कि अच्छा, दिस इज़ हाउ थिंग्स आर एंड यू कांट एक्सपेक्ट एवरीवन टू थिंक एंड बी लाइक यू. तो वो चीज़ें भी मुझे रियलाइज़ हुई. और इंटेंसिटी, एज यू सेड, मैं कोशिश नहीं कर रहा, मतलब मुझे पता ही नहीं था कि मैं फेक कर रहा हूँ. मैं अपने आप को कंपेटिटिवनेस के जोन में पुश कर रहा था, but it wasn't coming naturally to me. I'm a person who wakes up and feels like, okay, let's see what the day has for me, and be part of everything that I'm doing through the day with absolute presence and involvement and happiness. And that's who I've always been. And people ask me a lot, how do you do this on the field, and how do you, carry on with so much intensity? I just tell them I love playing the game, and I love the fact that I have so much to contribute every ball, and I would give every inch of my energy on the field. And for me, it never felt abnormal. A lot of people on the outside watched me, and even within the team, they asked me, how do you keep up with it? And I just said, just one simple thing: I want to make my team win at any cost. And if that means that I'm gasping for breath when I walk off the field, so be it. I mean, that's the kind of preparation I go through to be able to play like that. तो वो naturally नहीं हो रहा था, और मुझे push करना पड़ रहा था, but I just didn't know it, because I became this, this ideal kind of a sports person to look up
Cult
to.
figure.
And I mean,
Admit it. I mean,
yeah, look, as I said, I'm very grateful for the fact that so many people get inspired by me, but you can't stop being a human being because of that. You also have to understand why people love you and support you. It's because you were yourself always. And even in these moments, I'm not shy to admit that I was feeling mentally down. And this is a very normal thing to feel. I mean, I'm a human being at the end of the day, and that should be a thing of, a space for people to say, hold on, if he can go through it and if he can experience the same, relax. It's normal to feel this way. It's not abnormal. Talk about it, discuss with people. No one's going to think you're weak. People are actually going to feel,
empowered
and compassionate for you, and you're going to get help from sources you didn't even imagine. But we don't speak because we're hesitant. We don't want to be looked at as mentally weak or weak people. Trust me, faking to be strong is far worse than admitting to be weak. And that's something that I have no shame in saying that I was mentally feeling weak. For me, हमेशा जब national anthem गाया गया है, especially in big tournaments, and 2011 World Cup for me was the first exposure to it. और जब वो मैंने माहौल experience किया तो I've never felt that sense of unity and united energy in one place ever. The force of it was something I have never experienced in my life. It gave me goosebumps all over. दस साल में पहली बार मैंने एक महीना बैट नहीं छुआ. I came to the realization that I was kind of trying to fake my intensity a bit recently. No, I can do it. You know, you're competitive, and you're convincing yourself, no, I have the intensity. But your body is telling you to stop. Your mind's telling you to just take a break and step back. I'm looked at as a guy who's been mentally very strong, and I am. But everyone has a limit, and you need to recognize that limit. Otherwise, things can get unhealthy for you. This period actually taught me a lot of things that I was not allowing to come to the surface. और जब वो आई तो I embraced it. I'm not shy to admit that I was feeling mentally down, and this is a very normal thing to feel. But we don't speak because we're hesitant. We don't want to be looked at as mentally weak or weak people. Trust me, faking to be strong is far worse than admitting to be weak.
So great that all you top athletes are talking about it, because आम आदमी इसी डर में नहीं करता कि यार ये दिखा नहीं सकती चीजें, और उससे बड़ी बात है कि बंदा हल्का फील कर रहा है. बंदा हल्का होके आ गया है. एंड उसके साथ साथ ये जो थोड़ा हम क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं, यू नो, इज दैट समथिंग दैट्स एक्साइटिंग? थोड़ा T20 अभी अलग हो रहा है, एंड हम भी कमेंट्री बात करते हैं कि T20 माइलस्टोन्स को ना थोड़े अलग अंदाज से देखो. दिस इज नॉट अ फॉर्मेट कि हर 50 इज गोइंग टू बी अ मैच विनिंग 50. उसके कॉन्टेक्स्ट अलग होते हैं. आर यू एक्साइटेड? थोड़ा अलग क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं अभी हम, थोड़ा T20, एंड हैव यू लाइक दिस फिलॉसफी व्हेनेवर यू बीन ऑन द फील्ड?
Look, our endeavor has always been to play aggressive cricket in T20s. Even in the past, we have had many big scores, and we have chased down many big scores, and we've won series in many countries. That cannot happen without having intent in the first place. But I think in big tournaments, you need more awareness and cricketing smarts than wanting to play a certain brand of cricket, because that can implode on a particular day as well. And we have the talent and the ability in the team to understand the situation and play the situation accordingly. That's been my personal experience in big tournaments, especially World Cups and Asia Cups and so on. That you need to look at the situation and play accordingly. And the people who can hold their nerve the best eventually come out on top when it's a crunch situation. So yes, the approach to the game might have been looked at differently, but the fundamentals of the sport always remain the same. When you're under pressure, your technique will look after you. When you're under pressure, your awareness, your situational awareness, your belief, your ability to look at the difficulties and process them and go past them will always keep you in the best place possible for you as a player, and then eventually your team as well.
That's what I say. I mean, if you can just have your foundation right, an average of over 50, and that's 100 matches, 100 matches तक अगर आप वो maintain करते हो, it's something just brilliant. बाबर आजम के साथ हमने एक बड़ी अच्छी फोटो देखी. You met him, right? वो अभी training के time पे.
Met him yesterday. I met Rashid as well.
What's it like for the two of you? Babar, he was also very sweet of him to just put out a tweet. And it's a community of rivals on Maidan. But what's your relationship like with him off the field?
No, I've seen the first interaction I had with him was 2019 World Cup. After the game in Manchester. Him and Imad I've known since under 19 cricket because we played against each other. So Imad said Babar wanted to have a chat. We sat down, we spoke about the game. So I saw a lot of regard and respect from him from day one, and that hasn't changed, regardless of the fact that he's probably the top batsman in the world right now across formats, performing so consistently, and rightly so. He has amazing talent, and I've always enjoyed watching him play. So that hasn't changed. It hasn't changed because he's performing now and he's coming into his own, I don't see his attitude or his approach changing towards me, which is a very good sign of someone who's very grounded in his foundations of his upbringing, and his cricketing foundations as well are very solid. So these kind of players, these kind of characters, they go a long way and they inspire a lot of people, and I see that happening with him as well. And I congratulated him yesterday for how he's been playing, and I told him how amazing to watch it is, and I wish him all the best, and he deserves all of this. I mean, eventually you need to have players like him to keep world cricket exciting, and that is the reality of the situation.
Okay, so last एक दो सवालों के लिए I just request you to stand up straight, क्योंकि ये जो सवाल है ना, ये उस पल के लिए जहाँ पे हम सबके रोंगटे खड़े हो जाते हैं, और शायद पता नहीं कितने ऐसे बडिंग क्रिकेटर्स हैं जिनके मन में पहली चीज आती है, एक बार ये कर रहे हैं, पैक्ड स्टेडियम, तिरंगे हर जगह, और जब नेशनल एंथम बजता है, you're obviously singing it, लेकिन उस टाइम अंदर क्या होता है? Tell us what goes inside विराट कोहली जब इंडिया का नेशनल एंथम दुनिया में कहीं भी चल रहा होता है, मैच से पहले।
फॉर मी हमेशा जब नेशनल एंथम गाया गया है, स्पेशली इन बिग टूर्नामेंट्स, एंड 2011 वर्ल्ड कप फॉर मी वाज द फर्स्ट एक्सपोजर टू इट, और जब वो मैंने माहौल एक्सपीरियंस किया तो आई हैव नेवर फेल्ट दैट सेंस ऑफ यूनिटी एंड यूनाइटेड एनर्जी इन वन प्लेस एवर. द फोर्स ऑफ इट was something I have never experienced in my life. It gave me goosebumps all over, because everyone is singing and everyone is just focused on one goal, that India has to win. There is no other thought in anyone's mind at that stage, and that energy is so powerful if you are tuned to it. अगर आप बिल्कुल उसमें involved हो, so you can feel the energy of the crowd. Literally, you can feel their emotion and their excitement and their tension as well when you're singing the national anthem. And I've had some amazing experiences. 2016 T20 World Cup in India again, Eden Gardens, Mohali against Australia. Those, I mean, I've been part of a national anthem being sung many times, but these few instances for me just are unforgettable because of the energy that it brought in the stadium. And it's a very special thing when you feel the force of so many people behind you, pushing you towards winning the game for your team.
You know the whole country is behind you. Always been. They love you. You've been such a great ambassador.
Thank you.
And मतलब खुश नसीबी मानते हैं कि सबके एक डेकेड में क्रिकेट व्यूइंग भी एक करियर होता है. क्रिकेट देखने का भी करियर होता है, और उसमें भी आप हीरोज तलाशते हो which inspire the generation. Just a quick chat with everyone. India getting into 2 back-to-back big tournaments. So week is back. अगर आप कैमरा में देखें, just anything that you want to say to all the fans?
Well, we have 2 big tournaments coming up, and all we can say, or all I can say from a personal point of view, is that support us in the most loving way possible. You know the talent we have in the team. We all believe that we can do something special, and all our focus is to make sure that we do everything that the team needs for us to be able to win these 2 tournaments. So we look forward to your support, as always, not just from home now, but in the stadiums as well, which is such a special thing for us. So be there with all your heart, with all your belief, and we'll try to make you proud.
Thank you so much, Virat. So good to be able to do this again in person.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Good to have you feeling good.
Yes.
Chak de pateo.